Yo, what's up guys? It's Salvajee from the Salvajee Cartel and we're back with another video. Rise of Iron, it's 5 days away, so I decided, you know what, let me make a video. Like, probably this stuff might not happen, but I still want to let the peeps know. Let me make a video on my only 5 expectations for Rise of Iron. Like, my Rise of Iron wish list, you know, things that I want to see in Rise of Iron. Hopefully this happens, and if what I don't want doesn't happen, then I hope it happens at some point. Quite honestly, you know, as you guys know, I really like Taken King. Like, I really enjoyed the content in Taken King, but there wasn't any content that made me stay in the game. Like, I felt like it didn't really have anything that would make me stay in the game, because the things that were there for me to do were actually very grindy, like the exotic sword quest, and also very hard. Okay, like for example, the what's this thing called? Oh yeah, that's right, the King's Fall raid. As you guys know, I wasn't a huge fan of the King's Fall raid. Didn't really like it that much. It was just too complex. I've talked about it many times. I'm not really gonna talk about it again. But anyways, with that said, what are my 5 expectations, the 5 things that I want, my Rise of Iron wish list? What are they? Let's talk about the number 1 thing that I expect from Rise of Iron. The number 1 thing that I want Rise of Iron to have: a lot of content. Okay, look, I really don't care if it doesn't have a ton of content like Taken King, because they said it was going to be something, you know, in the middle between Taken King and House of Wolves, and I believe the patch was 13 gigabytes, so that's actually not really the half of Taken King, but you know, almost, because it's 13. Whatever, the point is that all I want from Rise of Iron, the number 1 thing that I want the most, is I just want content, man. I just want content. I want something that I can strive for. I want something, you know, that I can go after. I just want things to do. Okay, I want things to do at least over a period of maybe 2 months, at least, at the most. I want to be 100% into the game, into the Rise of Iron expansion, coming back to it every single day, at least for 1 entire month. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I expect the most, because quite honestly, you know, like I said, you know, Taken King, it did had some things to do, but some of the things were really grindy, like the exotic sword quest, for example. And quite honestly, I do say that Taken King didn't really have a lot of things that kept me coming back. But the reality is, I really didn't do a lot of Taken King quest. Okay, I actually ended up not doing the Sleeper Simulant quest just because I was just burnt out on Destiny, I guess you could say. And another thing that I didn't end up doing is the Taken War quest for the Reef. I never did that, so I never got the Bully and Gemini. Yeah, quite honestly, I kind of missed out on a couple of quests, and the main reason for that is because I kind of just burned out on Destiny. Like, Taken King first came out, I played the hell out of it, I knew everything about it, and, you know, quite honestly, I just got tired of Destiny, I guess you could say. And on top of all that, it didn't really have new content, like new things that would actually bring me back every single week. And that's why, you know, this year on Rise of Iron, I'm going in blind, guys. I don't know anything about Rise of Iron. I know a couple of things. I guess you could say I know the basic stuff, like the story and ornaments and all that stuff, but I don't really know much about Rise of Iron. Okay, I haven't even seen the first story. I haven't seen any of the new Strike gameplay. Haven't seen any of that. Okay, and the main reason why I haven't seen any of that is because I want to go into Rise of Iron pretty much with no expectations. I mean, not with no expectations, but I want to go into Rise of Iron not really expecting a lot of stuff, right? Like, I just want to go into Rise of Iron thinking, you know what, there's going to be content, you know, in this game that's going to be awesome for like a month, and then after a month, maybe, you know, I might still be playing it, right? Like, that's the expectation that I want to have, because quite honestly, I've said this in the past, but Bungie, you know, talks about something, like Bungie shows content, and they make it look as if we're gonna have content for 8 years, but then when it actually comes down to it, it's only content for 3 weeks. So I mean, I know that was a very exaggerated, you know, example, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. So yeah, that's the first thing that I want from Rise of Iron. The first thing I'm expecting from Rise of Iron. The second thing is I want the raid to be like fun. Okay, I want the raid to be fun. You know, I want the raid to be a little bit challenging, but I don't want the raid to be that challenging. Like, I don't want the raid to be that hard. You know, Oryx, the bosses in the Taken King raid and King's Fall, I didn't enjoy my time, you know, facing those bosses. Okay, the strategies were just too complex. and it just led to me just leaving the raid, or me just kicking out the people that were with me at the raid, because no one ever knew what they had to do. We would be doing the raid for hours and hours and hours, and I just gave up, you know what I mean? Because I was like, dude, I'm just really not going to deal with this stuff. So I just want the raid to be very, very easy. Although I do know that Bungie did say that King's Fall was like raid college, and then I guess you could say the Rise of Iron the Rise of Iron raid, Wrath of the Machines, that it's mainly just going to be something fun and something chill back. Hopefully it's kind of like Crota's End, but not really as short as Crota's End, and hopefully the new Wrath of the Machine raid has some some mobs. Okay, as you guys know, another thing that I didn't like about King's Fall was that it was just boss after boss after boss after boss. Like, we didn't really fight any enemies. Like, we didn't fight, I mean, of course we did fight a couple enemies while fighting the boss encounters, but I want encounters with like the Siva bitches, and I want those I want to like kill specific things, and then we get a relic, and then we do the specific action while fighting the enemies, and then of course we go fight the boss. You know what I mean? Like, for example, how Vault of Glass had the 3 rounds, and then we fight the Templar. I really like that about Vault of Glass. But anyways, that's the second thing that I want. Not really an easy raid, but just a raid that's fun, and just a raid that I can just play it and have a good time in it. Okay, I don't want a raid that's super hard and super challenging. The third thing that I want the most, and I've been talking about this, I've been asking for this for a long time, it's Mayhem Clash to be a permanent game mode. I feel like Bungie kind of thinks that, if we make Mayhem Clash a permanent game mode, players are not going to keep coming back, and we want players to keep on coming back to Destiny. But the reality is, if you force me to come back to your game, chances are that I'm just going to say fuck your game, and I'm not going to return to it. And that's mainly what I did with Taken King. I was like, you know what, Mayhem Clash is not a permanent game mode. I'm just not going to wait until Mayhem Clash is available. I'm just gonna not play Destiny. And I'm not really saying this as an angry Destiny fan. I'm saying this as a fan that cares about Destiny and cares about the game. As you guys know, one of the first games that I covered in this channel was Destiny, right? Because I really enjoyed Destiny a lot. But yeah, Mayhem Clash, I want it to be a permanent game mode in the rotation. Probably not going to happen, but hey, at least we are going to have Mayhem Clash in the what's this thing called? We're gonna have Mayhem Clash in the private match, and I might do some live streams where I just invite subscribers, and we just play Mayhem Clash in there. Like, I really want to do that. Really thinking of doing that, of course, but I need to have like the people, the specific amount of people to do that, obviously. The next thing that I want from Rise of Iron, the next thing that I'm expecting from Rise of Iron, it's quests that are not as grindy as the exotic sword quests. Jesus Christ, oh my god. I don't have any exotic swords, guys, because I'm not going to do those grindy ass quests, Like, I feel like, if I ever have a friend that's just like really addicted to Destiny, like if I ever meet one of those friends in real life, I'll just give him $50 to pretty much get me all of the exotics and all of the shit that I didn't get in the Taken King, just because I didn't want to grind for it. Anyways, I understand, Destiny is a cool grinding experience, but grinding can only go so far, you know what I mean? I mean, grinding for better gear, that's acceptable, but grinding for hours and hours and hours just to complete one step of a quest, that is really annoying. The first curse, the exotic swords, all of those quests were really grindy, didn't really like it. And this another I guess you could say subcategory that applies into the grindy quest, I don't want the exotics that are locked into specific quests on every single week. Like, for example, the Sleeper Simulant, only for a specific week you can have it, or at least, when I played Destiny, that's how it was. And the No Time to Explain, it's a heroic quest, and the Black Spindle, like that specific quest. I don't want that to happen. Like, I just want, those type of exotic quest lines, I guess you could say, to just be available pretty much from day one. Like, you do a specific thing, you complete a specific bounty, and then you can do that exotic quest. I don't want it to be time locked. I really hated that. And last but not least, another thing that I want to see in Rise of Iron is the return of auto rifles. Auto rifles were one of my favorite weapons to use, and now I just can't use them. Every time I go to the Crucible, I use an auto rifle, I get destroyed. And I don't really know, I haven't really kept up with the meta. So, whatever, man. All I'm expecting from Rise of Iron is that at one point, they do make auto rifles better. At one point, auto rifles do make a comeback. Because I want to use an auto rifle. Auto rifles are fun. You don't really have to worry about the, spraying or just the constant tapping. But anyways, those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you very much for liking the video. Please make sure to drop a like. Feel free to subscribe to join the Salvajee Cartel for more Destiny Rise of Iron content, as I will be covering the game day 1. See you guys in the next video.